Yo, what's going on, guys? So, it's Rock here. Basically what's happening is we got the transfers up. So, what is it? How do I do it? Why do I want to do it? And where should I go? Cool. Basically, how do you transfer? You need to log in. So it's not done on the world select screen. It's done in character. Um, Basically, it's in the store. So if you know how to get to the store, we'll go over that in a second. You can't be in a company, and you can't have any auctions up on the trading post. As well as you've got to be in a city. You can't be out in the wilderness, right? So use your recall to in and get there. What do you get? You get what do you get? You get all your levels, progression, masteries, titles, all that shit. All your inventory and storage come with you. All of your currency, your houses and decorations, and your quest progress. You do not get to keep your company tag. Obviously, you had to drop company to transfer. No auctions again, and no friends list because you're going to be on a different server. You can move to any region, but you cannot move your character to a full world. You cannot move your character to a world in maintenance, and you cannot move a character in a world group that already has a character in it. So they're like world groups that have multiple like worlds in them, and if you want to move to another world that's in your world group, you can't. Transferring again will require an additional token. Blah 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 blah. They're gonna monitor them, and they may be given out for free if they deem that it's necessary for you. Also, they'll be purchasable in the store. After we make sure that players have had plenty of time to vet the right server for them, we'll later make server tokens available for purchase. I think it's good. It's solid. It's good. So that's pretty much it for the patch notes on this. Let's talk about how do you do it, and then we'll talk about how to choose the right one. Okay. Oops. Let's grab this screen. Okay. So, you come here and put away your fishing pole. And you're gonna go to store right here. Top right hand. So escape, store. You're gonna go down to world transfer right here. World transfer for free. Okay? Now, before we do that, no company tag, no auctions. I know it's stupid to reiterate it 15 times, but you know, some folks are having issues, so no auctions, right? No active sell or buy orders. Okay. So, use free transfer, single transfer, purchase, and I want to go to, where the fuck is it? El Dorado. The medium pop server, players in queue 1. Alright, you see a lot of these folks that aren't players in queue? That should give you kind of a heads up. So, we're gonna go to El Dorado for me, but what's right for you and why? Depends on the type of player you are. If you've got a company of friends, go with your friends. Plain and simple, the game's better when you have people to play with. It's just the truth of it. It's just how it works, right? But let's say you don't have friends for whatever reason, and you're a single player. Well, honestly, best advice, find a group of people to play with them. But if you are not gonna do that, and you want some advice on where to go, there's a couple of different things to look at. If you're a PvPer, go to a server, do some research, and find a server that has good PvP on it. Like, plain and simple, that's how you're going to get what you need to get. You want a server that's got half and half? on the world map, right? This is decent. This isn't good. It's not bad. It's decent. In ideal world, you would, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, I did that math right. No, I didn't. You get what I mean. You would want fight between all of them. In a PvE, you would want one, if you were solely there just for PvE, you would want one that's dominated by one, because you get all the bonuses. You get the, the reduced travel cost from Cutlass, and you get the trading tax, and you get the faction upgrade, and you get the blah, 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 and the extra experience, and all of that crap, right? If you were there and you do not care about fighting the other faction, go to a server that's dominated by your faction. It's pretty simple. Now, if you're a player like me, I'm going to make an entire another video on this, which is if you are a crafter and you are here to make bank, then you want to go to a populated server. Why? And I would say this is a little bit for everybody too, but for crafters in general. New World's economy is not great. It's got some serious flaws. And one of those flaws is that there are money sinks in the game that are pretty easy to keep up with in the first couple weeks, and then get very expensive in the last couple of weeks. Particularly primary housing taxes. You're paying $3,000, at least a month, or I'm sorry, a week in property taxes. You're not going to be making that back up unless you're taking it from other players in the auction house. Gold is deflating in value, so it's rising in value. Huge. We have a crazy deflation issue going on, and that's going to be something to think about. Also, more players, more PvP, more players, more PvE. Like, higher pops are really good. So if I was transferring, I'd want to go to a higher pop. And as I showed you, it shows you on the world transfer where the higher pop servers are. So if you see somebody in medium and they've got players in queue, how many players? Is it 1,000? Maybe you don't want to go there. That's too many. But if it's like 1 or 2, maybe that's worth it. I'm just saying, do your research and figure out what you want to do. Like for me, El Dorado's where my crew is, so that's obviously where I'm going to go. But yeah, I would just really make sure that you have people to trade with, people to craft with, people to do these things with, especially if you're worried about the money-making side, because the issue of deflation is going to happen a lot less on the bigger servers, because there's going to be more money coming in. There's going to be more money going out, but the economy will fix itself, and it will be manageable eventually, right? People will either stop buying houses because it's not worth it, or they'll stop paying rent on them, like I did. I don't pay rent anymore in my house. It's stupid. I don't really care about the trophies that much. The storage was nice, but it's not worth the $1,300 a week. Until I get, a sizable amount of, 200,000-300,000. And that's what I feel comfortable taking on that responsibility as. That's probably way too much, but I also want to have a big paycheck because I just like having lots of money. If I'm going hard and I'm, whatever, and I'm playing the game, me personally, I'm only making about 70-80K a week. So that's like a month's worth of shit that I want to have backed up before I start taking on all these extra expenses. So for me, I want to make sure I have people to trade with, and that the deflation, the rise of gold, is going to be worth it. Thank God there are cents in this game, and we don't just have gold pieces. And a lot of people are going to bartering. So that's kind of how you should look at the server and figure out what kind of player you are, what kind of content you want to get into, and how you should do about it. Now, if you just want to farm all fucking day, and you want to have a small, nice little guild where you do the crafting, and maybe there's some small trading in there, and you don't really like the PvP that much, maybe a lower pop server is for you. Maybe you and your, company of 50 people want to be the dominant force. Maybe look at one of the other servers. If you're like me, you know where you want to go, you know where you want to be, and go ahead and select that world. Rakma to El Dorado. Western East, Theta. Theta is our server group. You must be in a sanctuary. You cannot belong to a company. You cannot have any blah blah blah. Your friends list will be erased and not carry over. Confirm transfer. Confirming transfer will log you out of the character and select main menu. Transfers are non-reversible. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. But that's how you transfer. That's all the steps from A to B. That's everything you need to check. And that's my advice on how to choose your server, should you decide to go ahead and swap for any reason. Like I said, I'm going to El Dorado just because it's where my company is. So, I hope you guys found that enjoyable and educational and all that kind of good stuff. And we are in El Dorado, right there. We are on the server that we need to be in. So, too easy. I'll see you guys next time.